Today I want to show you how to make a simple yet delicious maple blueberry breakfast sausage recipe that is both paleo and AIP friendly. This has been a recipe that has been in my membership site for a long time. I've given it to health coaching clients, and everybody raves about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and share it with you today. It is easy to make. You can either make it on a stove or you can do it in the oven. Either way is delicious. I just kind of like the oven because it's a little bit more hands off. And I'm also gonna show you a way to freeze it for later, so that way you can just have them and take them out in the morning and thaw and reheat, and it's kind of like fast food. So let's just go ahead and share it with you.
We'll take 1 pound of ground pork, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, a ½ teaspoon of dried sage, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, ½ teaspoon of sea salt, and then you can use 1 teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder if you desire. It kind of makes it a little bit more like a traditional breakfast sausage, but it does make it a little bit more savory. Then you're gonna go ahead and mix the mixture together. Just make sure that everything's all incorporated together. For the blueberries, you're gonna want a ½ cup of blueberries. It can be fresh or frozen. You can see here I'm using frozen, and those are perfectly fine. You'll just go ahead and put them into the already mixed mixture and then incorporate them further. Then you'll have a parchment-lined baking sheet. You want to take out a little bit of the mixture. It's going to be about a small handful. Make sure that you have blueberries in each of your handful. Make sure that they're spread out evenly, because sometimes they like to kind of fall to the bottom. But just kind of make them even amongst the patties. Form them into patties and then place them onto the baking sheet. You'll wind up with between 8 and 9 patties typically if you make them a good size like the ones that I'm showing you here. And then for cooking, you can either cook them on the stove or in the oven. For the stove, you're gonna want to put about a tablespoon of coconut oil into a pan and cook them 5 minutes aside. And for the oven, you'll put them in at 350 Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes. Either way, you wanna make sure there's no more pink inside if you cut them open. And these are delicious, served with so many different things. Soups, baked goods, any of these kind of things that you can name. And also note that you can also use ground chicken, ground turkey, ground beef, any of these that you rather instead of pork. The cooking time may be different though, just so note. And then finally, I wanted to mention that these freeze really well. As you can see here, I did this with pancakes and the apple thyme chicken sausage. You can freeze them for a few hours or overnight in the freezer while on a baking sheet like this, and then just put them into plastic bags or freezer-safe containers. And this just allows you to be able to have one or several at a time without having to worry about them being frozen together, and then you can thaw and reheat as necessary. Easy peasy, and it's almost like fast food at this point.
And that's the maple blueberry breakfast sausage recipe. If you want to have the printable version of this recipe, I have a blog post for that, so I will put that in the description. And otherwise, if you haven't already gotten the link to my Paleo and AIP freebie library with a ton of resources, I just updated and put a whole bunch more in there. Go ahead and look at the link in the description below for that as well. And I'll see you next time.